Yo, it's your man with the plan, Mark Lars here to talk about fandoms. And I actually don't do a lot of videos like this often because I normally just do videos on things I like, but I try to make it a point with my channel to do videos on anything that I consider worthy talking about, good and or bad. And with that in mind, I do a video that's a little bit negative. I would consider this video a little bit more on the negative side, but I would still consider it kind of in the middle compared to a lot of my videos. Normally my videos are very positive, but I really have to express my my dissatisfaction with a lot of fandoms on online and just in general. And it's very obvious, I'm in a lot of video game fandoms and a lot of anime fandoms, and I'm also in, surprise for some people, that in a lot of cooking fandoms. Or you can call, I guess it's not really fandoms, but I'm in a lot of cooking circles, whatever you want to call that. And I've noticed this trend. There's several trends that really bother me about being in a fandom that has actually kind of turned me off from connecting to the greater whole of people with a certain topic. It's like, not that I don't like hang out with people who like certain things. It's just that, like, overall I find myself embarrassed to say I like something, because normally it's because of the fandom more than it is the actual game itself. And I just kind of, it's something that's been really bothering me, and I figured just belting it out on my YouTube channel was the right thing to do. And I kind of want to start with the attitude of a lot of fandoms. And I'm going to probably put some fandom names down, and there's nothing against you guys personally, but the overall look of it from the outside is not the best look. And the first thing I want to talk about is, like, with that is just how toxic both sides of the fandom and those outside the fandom are. I think the weirdest part of being inside of a fandom is that the people inside the fandom, they might not like a game mechanic in your video game, or they not like a character in your anime or TV show, and they might complain like, oh, on and on and on about how this is bad and this is bad and how it's not the same as it used to be and all that junk. But honestly, I gotta say, the equivalent of that is still, like, the people outside the fandom are just as bad. Lately I've been playing Genshin Impact. You guys know that I've done like several, like 4 or 5 videos probably up until this point. I'm probably releasing this, if I'm going to release this. I might keep this private, but and I just see, like, there's a lot of people in the fandom, they're like, this character's stupid, it doesn't have big numbers, and it's not technical enough. I can't believe you'll spend this money for a technical character, and the gotcha, all this stuff in this game sucks, but I still play it, and all this yada yada yada. And they make some valid points. They make some valid points about a lot of things inside the game that needs to be changed or reworked, or they need to look at this character because they're a little not strong enough. But it's just the way people do it. It's like it's like everybody just complains about everything all the time. And I don't know. It's kind of weird, because either people complain all the time or they defend everything inside the fandom. That's inside the fandom. And it just feels like, okay, and it always becomes this thing between these two different things, like between the people who hyper defend and the people who like the game but they just want to complain about everything. And then outside the fandom, you get this big group of people that just try to take the fun out of everything you do when you try to talk about it. And I'm going to use Genshin again, since I've used Genshin for the inside of the fandom. Like, a good example is for Genshin, how it's a gacha game. Honestly, I'm not a fan that it's gacha. It's my biggest criticism of the game is that it's gacha, and how expensive it is to do the gacha, even though it's really easy to go free to play, but it's also expensive if you don't want to go free to play. But the idea that people who barely touch the game or barely know what the game's about has the nerve to say that this game is a scam for this reason or that reason, or that you're stupid for spending your money this reason or that reason, or that that I'm entitled to not like this, the not like this, and to make you not like it too, type of mentality. And I don't know. I just feel like a lot of times the people always say that a community is weird and toxic, but the outside honestly is just as bad, honestly, and they look just as crazy to me. And I don't know. I feel like the people outside the fandom, what happens is that the people inside the fandom, yeah, they have conflict and they have issues with the game, but the idea is that they both love this topic enough for them to join together. But these people that come from the outside and come in, it's like they get very they put all these negative set pieces that might be true. They might be true, and it's probably a good thing sometimes. But for the most part, it's the way they say it and how they approach it, and it just becomes too much, because it becomes because a lot of people don't realize that when big content creators or big people say a lot of weird, like, mean stuff about your fandom, they people act like, oh, they're just talk, they're just this one person. Why does their opinion matter on the internet? But the thing is that their opinion spreads to other people because of how big a content creator. If it happened, remember, there's a few creators, like there's a creator or two that I know that don't like RPGs, and I'm cool with these people. Honestly, I don't know if I don't, their content to me is whatever, because they just don't like the same thing I like. But I feel like a lot of times they'll say something about like RPGs, and for some reason the opinion will just spread to everybody who's not a fan of RPGs. The opinion will just spread to everybody, and it would just be like, it's what happened with Sonic. It's like some people just said some stuff about Sonic that they didn't like it for this and this, and it just became the general consensus. Granted, Sonic doesn't help itself with the recent games they've been pushing out past Unleashed and Generations, but the point is that that opinion really did come from, it's like people echo content creators and stars, and just anything negative people just completely just reverberate, and it's a huge turnoff. Honestly, all that conflict is a huge turnoff. I think the fandoms that have really, even though I said that like the Sonic fandom got pelted by all this stuff, I gotta say the Sonic fandom so far recently, no, even if you think it's a little intense for some people, I've got to say has been very, very, very chill lately compared to a lot of fandoms. I look at the League of Legends community. I'm not in that one, or I've ever tried to be in that one, but I see it. I see the Overwatch. I see the genshin. I see a lot of the communities. Any community that has either a lot of technical skill to master, or a lot of a lot of parts to it, or any type of fandom that's relatively new, it becomes really weird. And it's kind of what happened with Persona and Persona 5. It's like you get so many people who like this, and you start getting all these weird, not weird people, but so many people who are very like not the best people to. They're not the most either socially inept, or they're not the nicest people, and they just kind of make the fandom a little weird for a while, and then it kind of snaps back to it once those people kind of burn, their passion kind of burns out, and then the people who really are into it kind of stay with it. But I just kind of wanted to just record this because it was just, I'm starting to feel some type of way about online fandoms, especially online fandoms, but I think all fandoms in general, because it's becoming too much for me. It's coming too much for me sometimes. And I think what probably kind of spawned this was I was originally a very, very, very heavy Nintendo community person. I was always into Nintendo. I was not one of those people who was like, yeah, Nintendo's the ultimate. But I did think their franchises were like bomb ass for a very long time. and it also got into my YouTube channel, but overall, I felt like I was getting to the point where talking about Nintendo games was getting too much online for me. It was like, I felt like if I was talking about like Mario, and I say anything about Mario that I thought was not good, it's like people would get on my ass, and like it's too much, because it's not like I made a negative set piece about Mario, but like the Switch, I like the Switch a lot, but I feel like it's lacking in a lot of areas. That it could be more than just good or great. It could be perfect or amazing. I mean, not perfect, but amazing, or just It could just be something so much more. And whenever I express that to people, people just lose it. And and it's honestly what kind of started me to spawn this video, because I think that was the straw that broke the camel's back with me and being in deep into communities, because I was just like, I don't know, it was not a good feeling, honestly, to have that kind of feeling about, like, just to have people get on my ass about something that's actually kind of true. You know what I'm saying? It's true, and it just felt, it was true, and it was just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? The Switch could be the most perfect system for you. It's like not a lot of bells and whistles, and it's easy. It's easy to understand. It's a hybrid system that's easy to understand, and you know that could be your thing. But the idea that I did like a small little bit of it, even though I like it's too much. It's too much, and I kind of just made this video with, I don't know. It's out of frustration, but it's also just out of me getting my feelings out to the internet on why I'm like, so why I don't really talk about other like creators and stuff, because honestly I don't really, a lot of creators' opinions, I feel like I really like the creator themselves. A lot of these creators, I love themselves, but I feel like I don't respect the opinion, because it's just how toxic their opinion is sometimes about the community. And then they might be right about a lot of things, but the Kingdom Hearts community was one I was in a lot. Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, and people really didn't like it. Well, not didn't really like it, but there was a good amount of people who were not satisfied. That's probably the right thing to say. And it was just so much just debate, and no one could talk about this game without people just bringing up this negative shit about it. And it actually, I knew, I'm just glad when I was doing a lot of content on it, a lot of the people who I got were very understanding about how I felt about Kingdom Hearts 3. I really liked it. But I hate that every time I bring up something that somebody has to say that, oh, that's horrible. It's like saying, it happens with Sonic too. It's just like, oh yeah, I like that new Sonic game. Like, to say the next Sonic game is bomb ass. It's like it's like the next evolution of Sonic. But it's like, wow, you talking about that franchise that sucks? It's like, takes the wind out of your sails. So, and that's normal. That comes from both people inside and outside the community. And it's just like, but I enjoy the game. And it's like, and I feel like a lot of people, they just don't respect that. I think that's what it all comes down to. I feel like people inside and outside the community just don't respect that you, like, I don't know, they don't expect your position. I think that's what it is. They don't expect, if I didn't like something, they don't respect that I just wasn't really feeling it. Of course, if I say it like, yeah, fuck you for liking this, I hate you for liking this, of course it's not cool. Of course it's not cool, and it'll piss you off. But if I'm just saying it was not for me, you know, let's say I said like, oh yeah, you know, Link's Awakening was not for me. It's whatever. You know, you like it, it's not for me. It is what it is. Or if I'm like, oh, you spent a little bit of money genshin, oh, you support gacha games and predatory behavior, and it's just like, bruh. But it is my money, and unless I have a big problem where I'm just spending my rent or all my money up on gacha, then yeah. But that's why kids shouldn't be playing gacha. Or if you have a kid mentality or you have addiction, you shouldn't be playing gacha, because it's spending money. But that's with anything. You can't buy 20 games and spend money on that, and you know, and not pay your rent. It's similar. It's just money management. It's just that this one's built to be a little bit more like a slot machine. I don't know. This is I probably want to end this video soon. It's just I had this feeling because I was just reading comments on certain things and looking at it's like I just felt like it was everywhere. Toxic community stuff was everywhere when I was looking, and I just felt like whenever I have something I like, I want to talk about it, I just get complete just toxic behavior from people both inside and outside the community about how this stuff is stupid and or that good thing this series is so much more superior. Like, oh, I got that on some of my trials like Cold Steel. You don't understand the intricacies of this story. It's so much better than Persona. I can't even believe that Persona is not even the same level as this. You know, fuck the game and the people who like that game. This game is just for real chads. It's like, that's not very chat. That's not very cash money of you, or very chat of you. But yeah, I think I'm close to the end of this video. The moral of the story is here that, you know, don't shame people for what they like. And if you do like the same thing as other people, don't try to just don't try to make other people like what you like. And also, just when somebody says something online or says something in real life about something, if you like the last 3 Star Wars movies at the time, which I think were the ones that people were just iffy about with Rey and all that stuff, you like those Star Wars movies, right? You wouldn't want to hear somebody talk about those last 3 Star Wars movies, about how bad they are to your face every single time you bring it up. And that's just your thing, you know. But yeah, I just wanted to make this video just to get my feelings out there, honestly. And maybe some of you guys feel like this too, and maybe you guys didn't understand anything I was saying because I kind of semi ranted, and I just said what I had on my heart this time. So I know this is a weird video, different video, but I promised this year I was going to be 100% myself with everything I do, no matter where I'm at, how I'm going to get there. It's going to be a big year of change for me. Yeah, last year was supposed to be a big year of change, but it was not the positive change because of what has been happening. So, you know, you might get a video like this every once in a while, but I really appreciate you guys watching. Hit me a thumbs up and or a thumbs down, doesn't matter which one. It just helps know you guys are watching. Also, hit the little subscribe button, the little bell icon to join the rebellion, because I'm only investing in new friends. And please, please, please take care of yourselves and be positive in your communities. And to communities from the outside. And is there something you don't like? You know, call it out. Call it out if it's really something that's not cool. Call it out. But if it's just them having fun, don't rain on people's parade. And make sure you have yourselves have a damn good one. Okay. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.